talk about at the conference table, yes. We're gonna talk about love, we're gonna talk about faith, yes. And while we're here, let's talk a little about my color, yes. Once and for all, let's get it straight, yes. Holiday, yes, holiday. Let the war and crime take a holiday. Holiday, yes, holiday. Can the war and crime take a holiday? Now be seated while I make my speech. As far as I can recall, the few say they represent the masses, don't live our lifestyles at all, no. You don't know how we're feeling, no. You don't have a clue. Are you sure you know when we're hurting? Or does it really bother you?
It is just about 25 minutes before the hour of 9 as we welcome you now to Traffic Talk. The Traffic Talk on the road. Traffic Talk. I'm in the hot seat for GQ this morning. I have not done this in so many years. I am wondering. I don't know how me and Sergeant Amri can get through, but we can by God's help. Okay? So I just want to say good morning to Sergeant Amri in with me this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. DJ Jazzy D. I want to say good morning to the general public, all those who are listening locally, regionally, and internationally. Welcome to this another edition of On the Road with DJ Jasmine on ZIZ. It's not DJ GQ today.
No.
So yes, I want to thank him. He's been doing a good job over the past months, and we want to wish him well.
Yes.
He's on vacation.
Yes, he's not feeling too well. He's under the weather, but he's good.
But let's hope that he gets well soon.
Yes.
Okay. In relation to, you want me to go right into?
Yes, if you want to, or,
yes.
Any...
Okay, I just want to remind first I want to thank ZZ for, as usual, for hosting us here on Wednesday mornings to come and give information to the general public in relation to road safety. And I also want to thank my staff at the traffic department for the assistance they've been given to the management team over the past weeks. Today, we will be seeing most of our schools, the government schools, will be reopening today.
Right.
Today is the start of the school term, and we are appealing to the driving public to, look out for our nation children. We expect that they would be at some point walking to and from school, and we want our drivers to take heed of that and, give them, pay some courtesy to them. We know how children can behave. We all had to go through that stage. They can get a little, you'll be seeing friends for the first time, and school might break early for some, and, you feel good knowing you have a good friend now, and you might be playing, etc. Even though we are discouraging these sort of behaviors, we are asking our parents to, speak to the children to let them know if they're going to be walking to school, that they should be walking on the side of the road and they should not be playing in the road. So, but we still have to remind our drivers to look out for them. When you go to areas where they may not have a traffic warden, pedestrian crossing area, we're asking our motorists to, exercise some courtesy. I know that the correct thing, it's basically to stop and ensure that these persons would pass. Sometimes you might have to even take it a little further where you might have to stop the traffic by going, some vehicles normally go across the road. We had an issue some time ago with a caller. He was wondering whether or not that is the correct thing, even though it might not be the correct thing. Sometimes it's the safest thing, based on how some of our drivers do operate. Because even though they see you stop, they still want to overtake. And, if we can keep down serious accidents to the minimum, and you have to do that to try to prevent these things from happening, I don't have a problem with you doing that and do that with care. In relation to the cricket is still on. CPL, we are still happy with the response that we are getting from our drivers in relation to the venue. They're still adhering to the signs. I'm very happy for that, and also the residents around the park area. I must give kudos to those persons. I also want to briefly just remind drivers that, you know, when you're driving in villages, the speed limit is still 20 miles per hour. It's a built-up area, and you have to, slow it down. If you're in the non-built-up area, we know that the legal limit is 40 miles per hour, but still, you have to remember that you have to drive according to the road conditions, because sometimes, there might be some construction taking place in that area, and, you cannot go, or you should not go to that legal speed limit. In relation to some persons, we are advising persons to please to check on your vehicles, like your turn signals. Persons, your indicators, to make sure that your indicators are working properly. Your lights at night when you're going out in the evening, check your lights to make sure that your high beam is working and your low beam, so at least everything is in check. Check also for your braking system. Make sure everything is okay. Wipers, some people only look at their wipers when it's raining. And when they do check, sometimes the blade for the wiper is gone. And, so give it some periodical checks. And I believe once we do that, we will be in good standing. I would have gotten some reports recently in relation to these big trucks that are pulling containers when they're approaching like for instance the roundabout next to the Gillards roundabout. They might be coming from the airport direction, and a vehicle might be coming from the St. Peter's area, and they might going down to Bastia. And these trucks, even though the vehicle that is inside the island have the right of way, the vehicle that is approaching the roundabout still have to give way to the vehicle that is inside. And sometimes these vehicles, because they're bigger than these other vehicles, they tend to want to push their way through. So we just want to appeal to these drivers of these bigger vehicles to, you have to conform to the laws of the road just like any other vehicle. And not because your vehicle might be bigger. Some drivers might yield because they might say, okay, you might have weight, etc., etc. But still, you have to remember that you should be driving at a particular speed.
That's right.
Because if you're approaching a roundabout, it is expected that you have to be going slow, because you don't know what can happen. So you cannot be approaching the roundabouts, doing a particular speed, and then you cannot stop, and then you run into another vehicle. So these are things we are reminding these bigger vehicles, please to, look at your speed when you're driving on the road.
Tell me something as you continue, before you continue. How is the presence of the police around, like the wardens and so today?
Yes, all of the schools that we normally have.
You having difficulty with your headphones?
I'm not hearing myself. Okay,
maybe you can hear it.
I'm hearing it
better?
now. Yes.
Okay.
It's cutting in and out. Yes, most of the schools normally have a traffic warden attached to the schools.
Perhaps you could switch and let me give you mine and you see if these are better and give me yours. Yes. So you have most of the traffic wardens are out?
Yes, most of the traffic wardens are out.
Give me...
Most of the traffic wardens are out.
We can exchange, let me see.
It's much better.
Yes. So you said most of the traffic wardens...
Would be at the schools. They'll be there, and we're asking the general public, please, to cooperate with them. We know that persons sometimes want to be defiant and don't want to obey the traffic wardens. We are asking them to please to listen to them, follow the instructions, and I think everything will be nice.
So they're posted at almost all the schools?
All the schools.
All the
yes,
schools
yes,
they're posted at?
yes, yes,
Okay.
Yes, yes.
There's an area down the road here when I walk through the cemetery most of the times. And I don't know if people have, well, I don't know how many people come through there, but I'm always concerned about the crossing right there. Because when I reach to the end of the cemetery, I have to wait. I have to like push out my head a little bit to see if anybody coming because I can't see because the wall is there.
Yes.
Right? And then what I had to do is like put my umbrella is pink.
Okay.
So I put out my umbrella.
Yes.
Right? And I say, I'm trying to cross.
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to cross. And I think about the children all the time with
Yes.
that. But I don't know what can be done there because the wall is already out in the street. So you can't really put a sidewalk. I don't think so, right? Because it will be, the road will become too small, you think? But I don't know what y'all can do, if you can look at it.
That's exactly what I'm going to, would be my answer. I first would like to go and look and see exactly what is happening. I know that we would have done some work there in relation to the stop sign that would have been on the Wiggles Avenue end,
Okay.
the junction there. We were getting some complaints that the stop sign was too much in, so we brought it
Okay.
forward so the vehicles can now come out more and you'll be able to see down on Cairn Street and up towards the lounge area more clearly. But this is what I'm appealing for motorists to, be more courteous in terms when you're driving. Look out for pedestrian and other road users, other drivers. Because, it's sad to see somebody would be standing on the side of the road. It may not be a crossing, but they're beckoning to cross. And, nobody wants to
Passing,
You
then
know.
when the person stop now, and it's on both sides,
stop. Yes, yes.
Not on just one side.
I
If it
know
was
that,
on the
I know
one
that.
side over and by this, I could understand. But
Yes.
on the other side as well, you're trying to pass, to cross, and they're not stopping.
Yes, and that
And
is
that's-
something we are appealing to our motorists, please, to exercise some courtesy. Because, we don't want persons trying to cross and then we have a collision. If they're asking you, please, to let them cross, just exercise.
Because normally what happens is the person behind coming still,
Yes,
Like
yes,
they're
You know,
they're coming out to pass.
yes. Again, and if you're in those areas, you stop. Nothing is wrong with using your hand signal
Yeah, either
and
flag down
the
or do all
vehicles.
kind of things.
Yeah, try and see how best you can. You do the additional stuff to see how best we can get things under control. I don't know if this time, DJ, if you would like to take a little break and let's get back into.
Okay, and we will take some calls
Yes,
after.
Yes, please.
Yes, so you're in charge, I'm just doing what you want. So we take a break and we come back, and after this we'll open the lines. You can call and ask your questions. It is just about 13 minutes before 9. Sorry. See, I've been here so long, right?
Yes.
Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry?
And we are back with On the Road, the Traffic Talk. And you can call if you have a question, if you have a comment to make. You can call us 465-2555 as we continue with more information, Sergeant.
Okay, if there are no callers,
I see one coming through. Good morning.
Good morning, Jazzy.
Morning.
I'll ask Sergeant to tell him to hurry up to put up the stop sign up by Alfred up Newton Bell Road. Because the buses then is not easy up there every morning time. And I walk go to the beach every morning and my back is not home.
Up by Alfredo's?
Yes, the bus, the stop lights how you put up there. And the buses them up there don't wait for nobody pass a man. So.
Oh.
stop signs or which one?
Stop sign or stop light?
Stop lights.
Okay.
That is something beyond my control, Carlo. Yes, some weeks ago we would have had Miss.
Good morning.
Oh, we have a caller. Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mrs. Thomas. Good morning to you. And Sergeant Amri, good morning.
Thank
Good
you.
morning,
Morning.
both of you.
Good morning.
I have a question, 2 questions. Sergeant Emery,
So,
not when you all people would normally say in reference, but when is the traffic department going to put a entrance separation of the line coming from the Island Main Road to turn right into Cunningham Street? There's no indication where you could turn to go onto Cunningham Street. There should be a line, which of course should be separated. The line is a straight line. 2, the roundabout at the airport. The road has been completed quite a long time ago, and I know everybody's hands are full. You all have a lot of things, and all you prioritize what to do when. However, when are the traffic department going to put signs, arrows, and lines in the roundabout? Those are the 2 questions, and thank you all for listening. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Thank you. We have another call. Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning to everybody there. You know, this is Sergeant Amory there, that's it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes, you know, for years, I always call about the traffic. And sometimes when I call about the overtaking, it's not much that you could do, you're not there. But I don't know if you could just add a little tidbit. Overtaking on the Kim Collins Road. I got a problem with people who see oncoming traffic. No one see that you can't just get rid of the hand signal. Because many times I got flagged on people.
Yes.
Good thing me and the air conditioning in the car, but people would not heed to the right way of overtaking. You're driving there, and next thing you see a fellow coming hell-bent and something coming to the front of you. What am I supposed to do? Drive on and in the grass? Me is supposed to do that. He's supposed to follow the protocol, do the right thing. So if you could just address that. I'm not blaming the police because the police there. But too many people overtaking people. Even there by jam, you're coming over the hill there, you see a fellow coming from jam and one want to pass you over the hill by jam. And only the goodness of God will he ain't clip or an accident. So if you could address that for me, please. Many times when I say it, the program ends. Just address it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay? Okay.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. This is the program that is on with the inspector.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm from New Road. Some months ago, they fixed the road. I'm glad for that. They did, when I say fix the road, change cables. But right where I live, and I got to step out, the amount of gravel stones. And I mean, I thought they would come and take them up, shovel them up, do something with them. But they're still there, over nearly 100. And imagine me had to be tiptoeing. My husband can't go down there unless somebody hold his hand and help him.
can you give me the exact location?
Where is it?
Right up New Road in front Nathan them building.
I will follow up on that.
He know, the inspector there know.
Yes. I'm familiar with the voice and I'm familiar with the locations. I will follow up on that as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
And I'm sorry about the radio. Inspector.
Yes, morning, Sergeant Amory.
Yes. Oh, Sergeant Amory.
Yes.
I believe you know me too, but I know you're not kind of way. But anyway, when I went my first visit to the United States many years ago, I was very impressed when I reached in an area and see the sign about school zone. I was very, very impressed, and it is well policed. Now, another have resources that we don't have. You said that most of the schools have traffic warden or something like that.
Yes.
But some of the traffic warden, they sleep in there. Not literally, but probably. But I believe that, like say in Bastille, Wellington Road, not Wellington Road, Victoria Road, we had all these sort of schools, some 4 or 5 schools nearby. I believe you have to be more serious. I believe just you will regard that nobody get killed up their children in particular. You know. If they want to be better police and you want better signage and enforce the rules. And when people out there, you arrest them. You need to carry these laws to your superiors, these ideas to your superiors. That you want to wear these programs. And then to protect the nation's children. I'm always concerned about children and the protection and all that, the welfare and everything. So I want you all to look at that. The signage you want to be up there, want to be better. In a school zone in the US, 10 miles per hour, you go over that, somebody gonna arrest you. I mean, they got cameras nowadays too. But somebody gonna arrest you, you're gonna pay a great penalty.
Okay.
That's my bit for now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Jazzy.
Yes, hi.
Good morning, Mr. Sergeant.
Morning to you.
I called about this before, but I'm not getting any relief. The guys on the motorcycles and willfully revving up. What kind of engine that they have on the motorcycles? And revving up as soon as they pass by you, Lord, they're going to get somebody a heart attack one of these days, I hope you won't be me. Talk to them, please.
Yes, we continue in that, Carlo.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Jazzy, and good morning, Sergeant. How are you?
I'm good. Morning to you as well.
Yes, Sergeant, I'm glad that you touched the topic in relation to school reopening today. Yes. And pray and hope that the general public, especially the drivers, be aware of that. And especially now that you have the road is completed, it might encourage persons to drive a little faster than they're accustomed to. But they have to take in consideration that you have children who are going to be going to school for the first time. And they, of course, they just like as you said earlier, we too were small, and they will have some difficulties crossing the road that they might be playing. So we have to look forward to that. In relation to the main road, Mr. Amri, I can report that the whole main road, the entire main road, is finished now. All the patches that they did all of that, and they are doing the markings. And I'm so glad yesterday I was able to traverse just between that last piece that they did between Challengers and Old Road.
Yes.
That you have a lot of curves, and persons were just, for some reason, they seemed like they wasn't mindful of which side they're supposed to be on, but they were able to do the marking, especially the center line. So that in itself will make a difference. And of course, Mr. Amri, I always look forward to you every Wednesday. And I heard that our partner is not doing so well, GQ.
Under the weather today. Okay
then. Well, I know he's listening, so I just want to wish him speedy recovery. We're looking forward. Jazzy is doing a great job
Thank
him. You're trying, but you're doing a great job. Because the good thing about it that you work there, so it's just like a refresher. You're gonna get it back soon. Slowly but surely. You cannot be like GQ. Jazzy will be Jazzy, GQ will be GQ. But at the same time, you're doing a good job, in my opinion. So keep doing what you are doing, and you all have a pleasant day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks again for the accuracy in the reporting.
Okay, so you have some questions that you want to answer? Yes.
Just quickly attempt to think. The overtaking is something that if a driver is trying to overtake someone, it is expected that that person should ensure that it's a safe area to do it, and that he can do so without interrupting the other vehicle and other traffic on the road. And that is something that person will be doing at his own risk. So we only could appeal to drivers that when you're trying to overtake, make sure that this has been done in a safe, that is safe to do.
Mm-hmm.
Alert the driver ahead of you, give them adequate notice, and that driver should at least slow down to allow you to pass so that you can get back onto your side of the road without interrupting traffic that is coming in your direction. So that is something, caller, we are appealing to drivers to ensure that they're doing things safely. If persons are doing this in a reckless manner, and you can get that vehicle number and pass it on to us at the traffic department, we will be grateful, because even though we may not, if they will not be taken before the court, we can police it by at least warning them, talking to them.
That's right.
And that's a course of action. In relation to the signage, caller, I am 100% with him in relation to road signage.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if we're enforcing the law, proper signage should be in different areas. And we are now more international, and if we want to be on that stage, we must conform with the international community. So I'm in agreement with you. I only can appeal to my wardens to be, keep the eyes open, be more proactive. They're doing a great job, and just give them the support. That's why I'm asking you, caller.
We have two quick calls. Good morning. Turn down your radio, please. Morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm an omnibus operator, and somebody seems to have seriously dropped the ball. School is opening today, and The crosswalks at major schools are not painted. I'm dropping off children trying to cross, no crossing guard there, and the traffic coming behind me, licking speed. Who was responsible to get these things painted? And why you want the painted school opening today? Thank you.
Okay, caller, are you there?
He left.
If that caller could call back and give us an idea as to which area
Yes, I was
he's
wondering.
speaking about
Yes.
in relation that there is no crossing guard, and especially in refreshing the traffic, the pedestrian crossing. That is something that it's ongoing. I can report that we did not get all finished to date, but it's continuing. And if you can call back or you can call us at the traffic department and share that information, I'll be grateful. But to the best of my knowledge, most of the schools that are opening today and would have opened on Monday should have the presence of a traffic warden in that area.
I was wondering. We're going to take another call and then we get into the 9 o'clock report. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I have a concern.
Turn down your radio, please.
I have a concern. Persons that do walking at morning, I realize that they don't have a lighted vest. And it's very difficult for persons who drive a vehicle at morning who taking people to work. Then something needs to be done about that. A lot of people going walking and they ain't got nothing to indicate that down this side of the road. And it's very difficult for drivers. That is very serious.
Yes, I share it with you. I would like you to repeat it to encourage them, because this is something that we've been doing. It's for their own safety, and it's difficult for a driver. When you reach close to somebody, you reach to something, you recognize.
That's right.
You see the person at the last moment.
Yes.
So if you can repeat that call, just to appeal to the general public. We are happy that they're doing the exercise. That's something we are asking them to do. But do it in a safe manner. So if you could just, appeal to the general public.
Well, I don't know if you all want to put that on the ticket book as well. Then people understand, But it's unsafe to the drivers. Because I don't go walking at morning time and I make sure you will highlight that for the person driving the vehicle for see me. But when I see other people walking in dark clothes, when I talking to them, the first thing I say, oh, we cool. So we are, something needs to be looked into very seriously.
That pedestrians, we want them to know that they have a responsibility.
Yes.
And their responsibility is to make sure they have on the proper, clothing, so that highlighted vests, so that other traffic that is on the road, other road users, you're visible. You cannot have too much. If you can have it on your shoes, your jacket, even your pants, etc. These are the things. It's better for the other road users so they can see you. So that is something I really would want to encourage our pedestrians and also persons who are going exercising that morning.
Okay.
I recognize we're out of time.
Yeah, I don't know if we could break and do the 9 o'clock report, come back and then you wrap up.
Grateful.
If you want to answer.
No problem.
Okay, so we'll just take a break right now, do the 9 o'clock report, sponsored by The Grange, and come back.
You're simply the best.
Well, Miss Sergeant Amri has some things to review.
Yes.
I wish though that the gentleman would have said, the bus driver, where he was, what area he was in, because you said that you have they're all out today.
Yes. So,
you know?
If you can call back.
If you could call back, it would be nice to hear what he says. We have a caller though, just before. Okay, yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, morning.
Hi, morning. I'm calling about the crosswalk.
Yes.
Yes, off the top of my head, I'm gonna list them for you. The Q.L. Williams the road going up by the Q.L. Williams School in Old Road.
Yes.
The Vorchild High School, Sandy Point Primary, Sandy Point High. I want to believe the one in Boyd. That's the Bronte Edge. I want to believe that one too.
Okay.
They need crosswalk.
They need refreshing, or you say the crosswalk?
They need crosswalk. They're not painted at all. And the one by the community, not the community center, the preschool in Challengers, that needs repainted.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks much for this information, Carlo.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
This is the kind of relationship that we want.
Mm-hmm.
From looking at the information that is here, this is most of these areas in the District B. I'll get in touch with the commander for District B and find out, because we always appeal to persons who are in charge of the different districts, to look at these areas and at least, keep us abreast as to what is happening so that we can get these things done. So, Carlo, I'm very happy that you would have shared this with me, and I'm going to work on it as quickly as possible.
So we can take another call quickly, or are you ready to?
Sure, no problem.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, quickly, Jatidi and police officer there. I'm kind of glad that the person mentioned the wearing something that you can see from a distance, because I lost a friend on the Frigate Road. They coming from work 4 in the morning, and he got knocked down because apparently the driver didn't see him. So, for your safety, people who walk and exercise, put on something that people can see from a distance. It's very important. We haven't had much of that happening. Well, at least, yes, we got people knocked down from walking inside the road. So you should put on something that the driver can see. So it's for your safety as well as the driver. Thank you.
Thanks much, Carlo.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, so you're addressing some
just
issues.
Quickly, in relation to the roundabout, Carlo would have mentioned about the roundabout at the airport. That is something that I'm going to look at in relation to getting it painted. As the caller said, that been some time now, so I'm going to look at it to see how best we can adjust the painting at that roundabout at the airport. However, we are still appealing to persons who are using these roundabouts. If you're going left or straight, you stay on the outside lane. Right and around, we expect you to be on the right side, because some persons are still not conforming, right? So please remember, you have to give way to the person who is inside of the island. If you're approaching the roundabout and traffic is there, you must yield to let them do their maneuvers, and then you continue doing what you're doing. In relation to the new road area, as I said, I'm going to adjust that. Yes, the motorcycles. Carlo, we, not only on this program, but we would have tried to address this situation with motorcyclists. We are enforcing the law in relation to them riding without helmets, and in relation to them revving their engine. That is something that, as you would have rightly said, we cannot control it, because these are how these riders are. They can maneuver very quickly and get away from you. However, how we are basically policing that is that once we get the registration number of those vehicles, we would have to take whatever course of action in terms of the law to see how best we can deal with it. But these are things that it can cause other drivers to instill some fear, because if you're just cool and driving, and then somebody come next to you and rev up your engine in a loud manner, it can cause some distraction. You can lose control and cause you to get into an accident.
Same as the bikers enjoy that. Bikers on a whole. I mean, you see it even on TV and everything that they just like this revving.
Yes, but it's
right?
something dangerous.
It's dangerous. I mean, where we live in Nevis Street, right?
Yes.
They have some down to the bottom of the road.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the children, they have to walk through. I don't know why they choose like 12 o'clock to do that, to to go up and down on the road with these motorbikes. And they want to be pop wheeling and they're revving, and the children coming from Morris Hill and so they had to go through into where girls' school used to be, the old girls' school, Victoria Road, go through there and go down because they're coming up at around 12.
That is some good information for me. I think I should look at that.
Yes.
Because you're now endangering the children, the pedestrian in that area. So I'm going to look at that. There's also a traffic warden in that area. I'm going to ask her to look out there too. Basically, it was attached to the Morris Hill. So I'm going to ask them to pay some attention to that for me. Right, so thanks for that information.
You're welcome. We're wrapping up, but we have a caller. Hi, good morning. Morning. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, Officer Amri.
Morning, sir.
The little one about the by Baker's Corner when you're coming from the police station and going to Newtown, I think you guys could remove that and let the traffic just flow straight across into Newtown Road, because the little going around the corner thing just go on the roundabout. To me, just coming like silly now. I mean, the roundabout is dilapidated. They need to just remove that there and let the traffic flow straight across. You're coming from Newtown, you go straight across to the station. You're coming from the station, you go straight across. I don't think it will impede the traffic from any other direction because, you know, the lights come at different times. Okay. I think by now, you guys should negotiate with the government to try and remove that. Okay. Secondly, the engine rails at Boardwalk in front of the cash and carry. I think them guys renovating the road up here. They need to remove those engine rails out the road. It's like a speed bump right in front of the stop sign.
Cash and carry?
Yeah, at Boardwalk.
Okay.
Right next to Best Buy. They need to remove those engine rails out the road. I don't know if you could partner with Public Works. Because you have a speed bump right in front of the stop sign.
Okay, I'm going to check on that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thanks much for your input, caller.
Okay, so that's our last call.
But in relation to the roundabout,
I find that I don't know how that can happen.
That
I
is
don't.
something beyond us, caller.
Yes.
As he said, negotiate. But I respect his opinion. But that means a lot to.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's.
So I don't think that will come so easy, caller. But as I said, we have to. There's sometimes in life, there's certain things we just have to go along with. I must again just report. Some time ago, weeks ago, we would have had a caller who would have called in relation to some works that is taking place in Dorset. That is someone who is fixing vehicles in the area. Just to report, we would have went and checked out the area, and we would have spoken to the gentleman, and we would have advised him as to where he needs to go to ensure that he can get a piece of land to do his business. And I'm pleased to report that he would have went, and right now they are now looking to allocate a piece of land for him so that he can remove himself from there.
Okay.
It has been some time now since the residents in that area, they've been complaining about him repairing vehicles in the road, and it is an offense. I've spoken to him. He told me that yes, he understands. But presently, we at the traffic department, we are doing all we can to see how best, he can get it as quickly as possible, so that he can remove and go elsewhere in a more commercialized area and do that sort of work. So, caller, persons in the Dorset area, please to bear with us. I don't want you all to feel as if that you would have reported to us and you have fallen on their ears. No, we're looking out for everybody, right? And I want to thank all the persons who would have called in, even those who did not call, right?
We're still getting callers, but unfortunately we have to finish because we have cricket at 10 as well.
Yes, I want to thank them for, the input. And this is the kind of information that we love in relation to persons seeing things on the road. We cannot do it alone. We must interact with the public, and once the public, we respect them, and we would expect the public to, cooperate with us.
Before you go though, we My boss, he asked about dumpsters and the reflectors.
Oh, yes, I apologize to Mr. Bradley. Yes, in relation to dumpsters, whenever someone is putting down a dumpster or even a concrete mixer, they're going to be using it on the road. It is expected that they would inform the traffic department that the dumpster would be placed. They would like the dumpster to be placed in a particular area from what time to what time, and we would analyze it, look at the area, and see whether or not if the area they're looking at, if it's feasible, and we encourage them to make sure that the dumpster has on the reflectors, because if the dumpster is going to stay there overnight, it's only fair that it's been properly lit, so that motorists can be able to see it when they approach in that area. We normally assist in putting cones also around that area, so that persons can at least see, and those cones normally has on the reflective tape around it. So that is something we're encouraging. But we know there's some persons who don't want to comply with the law. They might just go and put down these things without informing the authorities, because we have had reports where we have had to ask persons to remove it. You cannot show us the permission. We ask you simply to remove it. We call the company and told them it's against the law for you to just put it in the road without getting the correct permission, and they will comply. So that is something we're encouraging, and if persons would have seen these things placed in areas and the correct proper cones or reflective materials are not on these items, please to report it to us, because if it's there, we should do something, because especially if it has been brought to our attention. So again, I want to thank everyone for calling in, and thank you, Jazzy, for holding down the fort. I did a marvelous job.
Thank you.
Hopefully next week, our friend DJ GQ should be back out.
I used to do it with Sergeant Caves.
Sergeant Caves.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Right, so thanks again.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks much.
All the best. Okay.
With the fire day driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps.